Under the new guidelines, the window for application for Alberta PNP is now limited to 1 time a month. We all know this, and this makes it very important that all the applicants to this program are fully prepared for the application day. I normally take the analogy of a test or an exam and would request all the applicants who are listening to this video or who might be interested in Alberta PNP to take this application window as an online exam. So if you take this particular activity of application day as an exam, imagine the amount of preparations that you would do beforehand. Follow the same logic and prepare for this application beforehand. And like any other exam, there are certain checklist items and preparations that you would do beforehand. And in this particular video, I would be giving you some preparation items and checklist items based on our joint experience as a team. If you are an existing subscriber to my channel or have watched my content before, in the last 3 application windows, we went through the whole application window via a live stream, and in those live streams we answered a lot of questions of different participants, and based on those discussions and items and then follow-up discussions, I have prepared a quick checklist that I want to go through with all of you. So without further delay, let's go into the checklist. I have titled it as tips and tricks, but you can take it as a tips or tricks or a checklist item to prepare for the application. These items are not in any particular order, but I have tried to put it in an order in which it sounded logical to me. So let's go into it. I hope you guys derive a good value out of this particular video. Number 1, confirm your eligibility for stream and pathway. Make sure you know which stream you are eligible for. This is an item which I believe most of you would have done already, but it's very important that you know which stream you are eligible for. Make sure you are meeting all the conditions of your eligibility. Again, this is very important because of the limited application window. So if you get only 1 shot a month, make sure you are making most of it and applying to the correct stream that you are eligible for. Very, very important. If you have not done that, make sure you have done your eligibility check. I have a lot of videos on my channel that will help you understand your eligibility. Next, create your alberta.ca account well in advance. This is something I cannot stress enough. Alberta.ca account is a free account that you can create. You don't need an Alberta ID for that or any kind of code to create this account. There are a couple of versions of the alberta.ca account. There is a basic version and a verified version. For Aaip, a basic version is enough. It takes less than 10 minutes to create this account. So don't waste your time on that particular day to create your alberta.ca account. Create this in advance before the application date. This will save you a lot of time, and also if you get into a queue, it will save you time getting your queue or getting your application ready in that queue. So make sure this is done well in advance. Once you have assessed your eligibility to the stream, a part of the eligibility assessment is documentation. Make sure you also go through the documentation requirement of that particular stream or substream or pathway, and make sure that you have all the documents ready. Depending on the stream, there could be different type of documents. I've just listed some examples here, like a job offer or a pay slip, any employer related documents, a passport, your education documents, your ECA, your language assessments, anything. All the documents that are needed for a pathway are laid out in the checklist. Again, I have a lot of video on the documentation requirements of each of the stream. Go through those documentation and also make sure that you are going through the latest checklist available on the Aaip website. Have all the documents ready. Don't rush for the document on that particular day. Don't start fetching those documents on that particular day. Make sure you have all your documents ready in a PDF, scanned if it needs to be scanned, scan it, keep it ready in a PDF format in your desktop. Create a folder for your documentation purpose and make sure all your documentations are available in that particular folder. This will not only save your time, but it will also ensure you are doing a complete job. In that particular day, it's quite possible that some of the documents might be delayed. And if any of the documents is delayed, you will not be able to do an application on that particular day. And then the ball moves to the next application window, which would be next month, and you would be wasting a lot of time. Don't do that. Prepare and gather all the documents much beforehand the application window. Next, know the application step-by-step process beforehand. Again, as an exam, as I said, take it as an exam. So like any exam, be aware of the format of the application. I have a lot of videos on my channel which shows step-by-step application process. Go through those videos. Some of the application steps might be a bit different than the actual application because I had prepared that some time back, but at least you will have a feel of what the applications is like and if there is any other critical information that you should be aware of. Make sure you have all those knowledge beforehand. With that in mind, I had prepared a lot of videos. So a step-by-step application process is available on my channel. Go through that and make yourself aware of the format of the application. Next, keep updated yourself of the latest news. Keep a track of the Aaip portal, keep a track of the Aaip account on Twitter or X as it's called now, YouTube, and then our WhatsApp channel. YouTube and WhatsApp channel, it's a very good forum where we post regular updates, and this will help you in keeping yourself updated of any new changes. I'll give you an example of the change in the July time frame. Earlier, July had only one window of applications, but sometime before the first application window, they changed the applications to 2 dates in July. So if you were planning to target a particular date, make sure as you approach that particular date of application, make sure you are making yourself aware that are there any critical changes that might impact your application. So make sure if the date changes or the number of dates changes, it's quite possible like it happened in July that that AOS moved to a different date and other streams move to a different date. It's quite possible it happens like that. So depending on which stream you target, make sure you are always updated of the latest news and views. Ensure high-speed internet. This will be an online application for all of us. So make sure you have a very reliable high-speed internet available. If possible, if you have a wired connection, make sure you are preferring a wired connection over a wireless connection on that particular day. But if wired is not possible, make sure at least you have a good, reliable, stable internet on that particular day. If there is any issues, it will be very unfortunate that you would not be able to complete your application just due to a bad internet connection. So make sure you test your internet availability and the speed much beforehand. This I have seen some of the users in my last live faced an issue about the slowness and the latency of their internet connection. So make sure you have a very good internet connection available. Next is device. Use a very reliable device. Use a device where you can save all your documentation in a particular folder. And for that reason, I would suggest using a laptop over a mobile or a tablet if possible. If for some reason you don't have access to a laptop, then use something reliable mobile or a reliable tablet. But if you have an option, make sure you use a laptop. One advantage of using a laptop is you can have a proper folder with all the documents. Plus, you can also use a wired connection with a laptop if that is available. So in my opinion, high-speed internet plus a laptop is a very good combination that will make sure that will at least eliminate the technical or the infrastructure issues with your application on that particular date. Again, you will not have a long window of application. Once you get into the queue, once you get into the portal, you will have, there is no official time limit, but normally people have told me that it takes around 40 to 45 minutes to complete the application and pay the fees. Log in early. I cannot stress this enough. Please log in on time. Aaip will announce the time on which the portal will open, and make sure you log in at that particular time. Don't take it too easy that if your login is, if the portal opens at 10 a.m., you are logging at noon. If you will not be able to get into the queue. The queue would be too large by couple of hours that it's quite possible that during the day you'll not be able to log in. So make sure you log in pretty early and make sure that you log in on time. Don't log in too early because you'll be just wasting your time and frustrating yourself. Don't log in like if the window is at 10 a.m. People have told me that they have logged in at 12 a.m. the previous night. Don't do things like that. You will only burn out yourself and frustrate yourself. Log in if the window is at say 10 a.m. log in at 9:55 or 9:56. Check if they have already started a queue or the queue will start at 10. But make sure just every nanoseconds and every microseconds will matter. So log in on time. I can't emphasize this more. So early bird gets the worm, and this should be applicable for you. Once you log in, once you get into the queue, make sure you fill up the form correctly and completely. And by correctly and completely, I mean that make sure all the data that you have entered is correct and true. Complete all the fields that are required. Fill up the application completely and then pay the fees. Please understand, just completing the application and not paying the fees doesn't count. So what count as a complete application is a completely filled up application plus the payment of the fees. Make sure you are saving at each step so that your work is not lost. That goes without saying, but make sure that at the end of the application, you have completed the application and paid the fees. This is very, very important. Obviously, all your hard work. And if this is an exam, this is the core of your exam. The response that you give has to be registered and saved completely. Avoid online scams at all cost. If you had seen some of my videos or during my live stream, I had discussed this, brought this up, that there are quite of unscrupulous people who are selling or claiming to sell their slots to the unsuspecting applicants. They are just taking advantage of the desperation and the requirements of the applicants. Make sure you don't fall to these scams. These are just scams. They will take your money and it's scam. Don't fall for these scams. Apart from being illegal, they are highly unethical and technically impossible, right? You will not be able to get a slot that somebody else has captured. So don't go through those. Don't even waste your time on that particular day on any online scams. If you are in a queue, wait in that queue, you will get through. I hope Aaip will improve its infrastructure capacity so that it can allow a larger number of applicants on that particular day. But if in case you get into a queue, make sure you are waiting in that queue and not falling to any of the online scams on Twitter or any of the portals. Right? I in my channel or in my life, I have always stood against these online scams. So make sure you also do that. Be a good applicant, be a good citizen. So if you have followed all the steps all the checklist items. If you have prepared well, your application will go through absolutely fine. And I would wish you all the best for your applications. So if you are following all the steps that I have just detailed out here, you will get through. You will get through your application very smoothly. And I wish you all the best again. And if you have any questions, reach out to me on the comments and I will try my best to answer your comments. And I will always be doing a live on the application dates. So I will always see you there, and I'll keep posting more videos like this on my channel. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.